We're going.
Were you the bad guy in Scream with the mask? I forget.
You haven't watched it?
It was you, right?
It was not me.
Oh, well, the mask is right there. I thought maybe.
Yeah, but I was killed.
You've got more posters and memorabilia from your career than anyone I've ever seen. The hell did you just put on your leg?
I'm fucking paranoid, so I put sanitizer on my leg.
On your leg?
Yes, because your dog licked it.
Oh. Well, hello, Howie Mandel.
No, I'm not like that. There's a whole thing happening on TikTok with dogs when they lick. I have more memorabilia than anyone. That's a compliment, but Howie has a ton. I'm collecting more. John, I want to create a whole museum.
You've done it. I've never seen so much stuff.
People love it, John.
People love it.
Dude, what are you doing? Are we going to talk?
I'm not judging you. Just
It's
looking at all the things you've done.
And you're a little jealous.
And I don't remember any of them.
Ladies and
No,
gentlemen,
I'm kidding. I remember.
we have a legend.
Very little.
We have a legend among us. Should I announce you?
Yes.
Mr. He's a director. You director? Actor, comedian,
Director.
writer, singer,
Yeah.
producer,
Yeah.
former club owner,
Yeah.
legend, and all around sweet fellow, Mr. Jon Lovitz.
Thank you.
Buddy, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
What is that?
Something to throw.
Oh, God. No. Is that for the joke, or are you actually going to drink it?
I brought its 5-hour energy.
Tell the
When we were
story.
on the
Tell the
game
story.
show. Jamie sits behind me. So I turned around and I whipped a little bottle at him. And I accidentally hit him right in the balls.
In the
Correct?
nut.
And yeah, did it hurt?
Killed. You barely nipped it.
So what I'm thinking is I have some now, and we'll try to recreate the moment.
I'd rather you not.
I know you would rather I not, but I'd rather I do, and I'm the guest.
Why do you drink that shit?
To keep me awake.
Coffee. Dude, I wanted to have you on for a while.
You've wanted to have me on for a while.
Yeah.
How you've never asked me till I called you this week. You've never asked me.
I know, but I had to get all my memorabilia up. I didn't want
How
to.
long have you been doing your podcast?
Like a year and some change. But it wasn't ready yet. Now I think it's okay for you to come. You're still messy, but I know you don't mind messes.
You know what?
I didn't say anything. I just... There's that cough.
By the way, I thought maybe I had COVID and I tested positive, but it was a false positive.
When?
Just this morning.
You did not test this morning.
No, I did.
Why?
Well, I didn't want to come over here with COVID,
You can't even say that word.
but it was a false positive.
Who tests?
Yeah, I tested it. No, it was negative.
Why'd you test?
Just in case, to be considerate.
But you don't get it anymore, do you? Remember the time you got it? You can't
No,
really...
I have a little post-nasal drip, so it's making me cough. But
Is it from, you know what? Is it from the 80s?
I've been coughing since I'm 19. It's allergies.
Has nothing to do with 80s?
With AIDS?
The 80s? AIDSies.
The 80s? You know,
Did you never did that?
well, did you used to do it?
I never did it in my life.
I never did it either.
'Cause we're the same. We are the same. We're just naturally this way.
Oh, naturally goofy? Well, yeah. I mean, I remember thinking I don't want to work for a living. Can't I just get paid to be me?
When did that start?
Then there's a thing, comedy. They go, you can get paid for your personality. I'm like, I'll do that. And that's, of course there's more to it than that, but you know, that's kind of basically it. And, I think to be a comedian or an actor or whatever, you have to be interesting as a person. Something about you, or off or odd. I'd say I'm a little off and odd. And so, because I just don't think like most of my friends. I just don't. I don't know why.
I know. You do your own thing. You truly are an original.
Well, I tell you, I don't know. I got done Saturday Night Live. I remember walking in the studio the first time and thinking, God, it's so small compared to a soundstage in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe such a giant thing like Saturday Night Live came out of such a small space. But anyway, on the 9th floor, they had this glass case, and in it was mannequins. It was a John Belushi's, two mannequins. One had John Belushi's bee costume on it, and the other one had Eddie Murphy as Gumby with a life mask of Eddie Murphy. And I remember looking at that thinking, well, I can't do what they do. John Belushi and Eddie Murphy. I go, oh, man, what am I going to do? Because at first you think, oh, you're supposed to do that. And you go, no. I go, well, I'll just be funny the way I'm funny. And the audience, either they'll like it or they won't. And I remember thinking, this could be it. This could be as far as I go. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
And now you have one of the most iconic characters ever out of there.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
How old were you? 26?
28. And that's the liar. That was an inside joke between a friend of mine and I. And originally it was from The Thin Man, old movies.
Mm-hmm.
Then it gets huge and everyone goes, you stole it from Michael Keaton. I go, what are you talking about? He does it in a stand-up. I go, I didn't even know he was a stand-up. When did he stop doing stand-up? 1977. Well, the first time I was in a comedy club was 1978. But I figure he must have seen the same thing. And, a couple of years ago, and then I met him. I said, I didn't steal it from you, and I don't need to steal. And first of all, I'm a big fan of yours. And third of all, I can't do what you do. I go, But I'd never seen it. And a couple of years ago, I looked it up. I saw him doing a character. And when I saw his version, right, wasn't exactly mine, but I saw it, I went, oh, no wonder people thought I took it from him. Because it really was, very similar.
He did a thing. He did a thing called "That's the Ticket" from a movie.
No, but he was imitating the same character from an old movie that I was.
Wow.
But I never saw him do it. And he didn't do Pathological Liars Anonymous and The Confession, but
people don't even know your story. You're a California native.
That's right.
And what college did you go to?
I went to UC Irvine.
Oh, shit.
I grew up in the Valley. I had a well, I went there for a few reasons. I wanted to go to Berkeley. My mother had gone to Berkeley, and she was always saying how great it was. And it's a great school. So my dad says, no, you'll turn into a hippie. It was in like 1976. So then a guy, Steve Marylander, in my class said, I heard Irvine has a good drama department. I'd done plays in high school. And I was thinking I want to do that. So I went down there and checked it out and loved it. And I had a girlfriend at the time, and it was only an hour away from home, so I could still see her, but not have to live at home. So I went there. Can you stop farting? So I went there, and thank God I went there. Though it turned out it was the exact best place for me.
You did 4 years? Why was it the best place?
Well, at the time, like now there's 40,000 students at Irvine, but at the time it was only 10 years old, the school. there was maybe 10,000 students. 90 were drama majors. And I said, how many plays can I do a year? They go, how many do you want to do? It was unlimited budget. So, like, say at UCLA or other schools, you couldn't do a play till you were a junior in your third year. There, they didn't care. You could do it whenever. So I ended up doing 21 plays.
Wow.
So it was a great experience. And then I had great teachers, all my teachers, Robert Cohen and Ashley Carr, they were from Yale. They're MFAs from Yale, which was like the two best drama schools in the country, were, everyone said at the time, was Juilliard and Yale. So I had teachers trained at Yale. Then I had William Needles, who was a founding director of, a founding member of the Stratford Festival in Canada, which was like the second best repertory company, Shakespearean repertory company in the world, behind the Royal Shakespeare Company, but great actors. And he was just fantastic. And I was like 18 or 19, and he was 60, but he was like a father figure to a lot of kids. He was really a very kind man, and we became very close. And I loved the guy. And then he taught me Shakespeare and would play records for me, and of John Gielgud doing Shakespeare. And he was like a wonderful man. And I'd see him, after college and talk to him, and just the nicest guy and a great actor. He would do theater with, Maggie Smith.
Of course. Prunella Scales.
She would talk about Bill Neals and say, oh, he was a huge influence on me. He was a great actor and teacher, and very lucky to have him in his life. So Irvine, they would bring these great teachers there to teach for a quarter or this, and he was one of them. So it was really great.
After that, then would you go to Groundlings?
No, then I didn't know what to do. And a friend of mine, Mike Sabatino, graduated 3 months before me. I said, what do we do? And he said, well, Los Angeles, everything's filmed, so I'm taking a class for the camera. So I went to this place where he was, Film Actors Workshop, did that for a year and a half. Wasn't getting anywhere, but it was great that I did it. I learned a ton. Then I went to, and it is different, then I went to New York for 11 months, and I did the Renaissance Fair. I got an audition through a friend of mine, Laura Heller. She was the assistant director to the, and she was a friend from college, and guy Christy Matheson, he helped me get a job at a restaurant as a waiter, and I was horrible.
Oh boy.
And then my friend Mark was living there, and I was roommates from college, and so I had a lot of friends from college already there. And but I did that Renaissance Fair. Then I did met a bunch of people from there, and auditioned, got to play in a non-equity theater. It was an Oscar Wilde play, Lady Windermere's Fan, and it was called the Nameless Theater. I think it had 88 seats
in New York.
Yeah, in New York. So back then, they had all these equity waiver theaters, meaning they could do plays if there were 99 seats or less. And Actors Equity is the union for the stage, so they go, it's a waiver. We can waive it. You don't have to be in the union if it's 99 seats or less if you're doing a show.
Yeah, it's like SAG low budget.
But I didn't get anywhere, so finally I went and came back and started the Groundlings. I knew about it when I was 20. And Lisa Kudrow on Friends. I grew up with her family.
I want you to, if you want to tell that story, why don't you tell that story?
Well, we moved to Tarzana, and then I met David, her brother David, who was my age. Lisa's like 6 years younger than me. So David and I became like best friends, and then I would always be at his house, and then Lisa was his sister. She was like 5, when I met her. So, and then they have another older sister, Helene. So Helene was working for Larry Thompson, who's a big manager. This guy Dave Stewart. So she said Dave will meet with you. So I met with David, and he said when I was 20, he goes, go to the Groundlings. There's a guy there named Paul Rubens. He does a midnight show as his character Peewee Herman. It's the hottest thing in town. You should see it. See what's going on.
Wow. So this is like 82. 83.
You don't have a mute button.
Do I need one?
When I was 20, no, this would have been in 77. So I went to the midnight show. See, Paul Room's doing Peewee. Wasn't on TV, he was doing it there. He did it in the Groundlings, and it was so popular they gave him a whole show. Midnight show. And I went, and it was just crazy funny. I mean, hysterically funny. The audience was dying. I was dying laughing. So I called the next day. I didn't know who he was until later, Tom Maxwell. I go, do you guys have classes? Yeah, come on down. He's from North Carolina. I don't know, it scared me, so I didn't go. He was so loud. He was just being so friendly and stuff. I was like, whoa, this is... But anyway, I ended up going after New York 5 years later, and I came back from New York, and I lived... David had a condo he was living in Canoga Park, so I had an extra bedroom, so I moved there at first. And I go, I'm going to go to the Groundlings. I'm going to be a comedian. That's what I'm doing. And I had nothing. I hadn't had any jobs. And I remember his dad said, I can get you to meet this agent. And I'd worked at a clothing store, and the Diane, Rick Pallet clothing store. Rick was a patient of my father's. It was a doctor, and he goes, I can get you a job at Rick. His apartment, he's selling clothes, so I worked there, and Diane's husband was a lawyer and said, I can get you as an extra in a movie. You can get SAG. It was called Metal Storm. So I did it just to get, into SAG. But that's all I had. I met with the agent, nothing. Jack Fields. And I think his daughter is,
Sally Fields.
No.
Freddie Fields.
No, the mother, Meredith.
Ted Fields.
No, the mother on Michael J. Fox sitcom.
Meredith Baxter Burney.
Yeah.
What about her?
I think it was her father.
His last name was Fields.
Yes.
Her name was Burney.
Burney was her married name. She married David Burney.
David Baxter Burney.
No.
Fields.
No.
Burney.
Bernie Brillstein. So, I met with him, but he was nice, but, I couldn't do anything. So, anyway, I get on the freeway in the valley to go to the Groundlings, and I go on the on-ramp, and I'm driving, and I'm sobbing. I was so scared.
You were crying?
Yeah, crying. I was sobbing.
Why?
Because I just said I was so scared.
Of what?
Of committing to being a comedian. No one was telling me to do it. I teachers go, you're funny, you should focus on comedy, but I go, I'm going to really do it. No one knew who I was. I didn't have any jobs, nothing. I'm going to be a comedian because I'm thinking, well, what if it doesn't work out? I wasted, a lot. You don't know what's going to happen with your life choices. Now, do you? No.
No.
So I go to the Groundlings, and I got on stage and did some improv, and then the teacher, Randy Bennett, goes, well, that was from Waco, Texas. Well, that was good, but you could have done this. You could have been funny like this. You could have done this. You could have. And it was the first time, a teacher's not saying, stop it, quit goofing around, be quiet, nothing. They're like encouraging me. Here's ways to be funny. Here's another way to be funny. Basically, fuck around. You can fuck around like this. You can fuck around like that. You're the class clown. They go, here's some other clown techniques. Here's some other jokes you can do. Here's another way. I went, oh my God, I'm in heaven. This is it. I was in heaven.
So the minute you did the first one, you knew.
And I took notes. Another friend of mine I grew up with, his father was great actor Tig Andrews. He was on Captain Greer and Mod Squad, in the 60s, and he was a big Broadway actor, and he was helping me, and I said, I'm going to the Groundlings, and he goes, well, John, you get out of it what you put into it. A lot of kids go and they just goof around. He goes, you got to take it serious if you really, All right. So I took notes every class, and I typed them up, and at the end I said, teacher, here. He goes, what's this? I go, your class. He's like, what? And he's looking at it all the time. Oh, my God. no one's ever done this. You know, that's how into it I was. But I was serious. It wasn't like you. I was serious about it.
How long
It's
did you?
really hard, you know, Jamie. People forget. It's so competitive. And then once you get in, it's even harder. I got on Saturday Night Live. I had to work even harder. I was like, what the? I thought I could like ease up. No, harder.
Because
it never stops.
Yeah, I know.
Jamie, I'm very grateful for, everything I have. But it's not easy.
I agree. Do you want me to call a doctor?
No, I'm fine.
Did you really test for COVID?
Yeah, but I don't have it.
Okay.
But, people don't take it seriously.
How long did you do Groundlings? 4 years?
4 years?
Yeah.
Are you insane?
I don't know.
Well, back then, they had classes, and you could work your way up. So there was beginning, level, intermediate, and advanced. And I went right through the classes. They had to move you up, and I moved right up, but there wasn't enough people. So they go, well, the next intermediate class will be in 3 weeks, or in 6 weeks we'll be starting a new advanced. It wasn't like it was,
It should be. I'm sure it's
so
quick,
that took about over time. I went through the classes. Each one was like 6 weeks. I went right through, but it took about a year. And then I got in the Sunday company for a year and a half, and then I got in the main company in September of '84.
So that's like 4 years.
And I'm skipping over all the work I did, writing, paying, writing, not getting paid, writing. And then, no, it wasn't 4 years, about 2.5 years. And then I got in the main company in '84 of September. And then January of '85, the Groundlings had a new show, and I was doing my liar character and other stuff. We got great reviews in the Hollywood Reporter. And then about third week in March, everybody's calling me, congratulations. About 20 messages congratulating me. And I'm thinking, but no one is saying for what. I have no idea what they're congratulating me for. John, that's really great. Congratulations. I'm really happy for you. On and on.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. So on Monday, I called Tom Maxwell. I go, Tom, what's going on? Everyone's congratulating me. For what? He goes, we're going on the Tonight Show. I go, who? He goes, you and Tim Stack. You're doing a liar piece. They want you in the truck driver's piece, and Don Woodard and Mindy Sterling and Kate Benton for the White Man's Rap. I go, we are? Yeah, when? He goes, Thursday. Thursday? Oh, my God. He goes, I know. Can you? We're both just screaming. I go, how did this even happen? I had no idea that on Saturday, Jim McCauley, who's in charge of booking all the comics for the Tonight Show, was there at the Groundlings. Everyone knew. I didn't.
It's better that you didn't.
Right. I had no idea. I go, what? So then Thursday comes. We go there, and we're in the commissary. I go, Tom, what am I going to do? The liar. I go, half the time it works, and half the time it doesn't. At the Groundlings, because if they didn't get the joke of the first 2 lines, it didn't work. If they got the joke of the first 2 lines, it worked. Well, what were the first 2 lines? All right, I'll tell you. Jesus, why did you get your knickers in a twist? So what I said, Jamie.
I'm listening to you.
I know. I said, it goes, hello, my name is Tommy Flanagan. I'm a member of Pathological Liars Anonymous.
Okay.
In fact, I'm the president of that organization. Well, at first if they didn't get it, it didn't work. Anyway, I go out on the stage. So you understand, this is like an inside joke between a friend of mine and I. Now I'm out there, and the Groundlings is 99 seats, so the back wall is maybe 50, 60 feet away. It's small. Now I'm in a theater. The Tonight Show is like 380 seats. Way bigger than it is now in New York, because it was a much bigger studio, right? And it just looked like the seats went up to heaven. I mean, just gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, so I'm out there, and I said, director, where do I look? Because it's such a big thing. He goes, just play it to camera. Look right in the camera. Okay. Thank God he told me that, because it had me focus. But now that's about 3:30. So anyway, now I'm like, or 4 or whatever. They go, okay, go to makeup, right? So I go to the makeup room, and I'm still worried as shit. Like, is it gonna work? Are they gonna get it? You know, I'd never done this on television. I had one job when 3 years before, when I was 25, on this show, The Paper Chase, the second year. But it was an acting job, and nothing since. Nothing before that, and nothing since. And you know, this is my second time on television in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm worried about. I'm in the makeup room, and who's in the makeup room? Jack Lemmon, getting his makeup on, the great actor, and he's being interviewed by Morley Safer from 60 Minutes.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is that world where those people live in that I've, you know, heard about my whole life. I go, they're like in another world, you know, and here I'm in it. Look, you know, somehow this is part of it, right? And I'm going, oh my God, this is where they live, or they are. So anyway, I hear Morley Safer say to Jack Lemmon, so in your 40 years of acting, what have you learned? And Jack Lemmon says, well, the one thing I've learned is keep it simple. So I hear that and I go, that's my answer. Keep it simple. Okay. So then I was like relieved. I got my answer. So now, and then I went out to do it, and I did it, and it went well. And then at the end, I go, so if you're out there listening and you want to stop your habit of lying, give us a call. We have meetings every week at my house in Jamaica. But when I was saying that, I'm like, if you're out there listening, I'm thinking, so if you're out there listening and you need an actor, you want to hire him, like, hello, call me, you know.
Subliminal.
So, and then that led to, I knew the agent, Mike Eisenstadt, who was an assistant. Now I'd become an agent. I knew him for 3 years, and he's like, I finally convinced him to sign you now. And then I said, look, can you get me extra work on soaps? Because I don't have any money. And soaps pay like $90 a day. And I was making maybe, $5.45 a day. So he goes, you don't want to do that. He goes, I'll think about it. And if tomorrow you want to do it, he goes, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't do it. I think you should wait. 3 weeks, there'll be all these auditions. So I called him the next day and I said, okay, I'll wait. And then I ended up, he got me all these auditions, and I got everything I auditioned for.
No.
Yes.
Like what? Wow.
So the same day, I got a movie with Charles Grodin and a recurring role on a sitcom on CBS, Foley Square, that Diane English did. She later did Murphy Brown and then Foley Square. I did 2 shows. They had an order of 6 shows. I did 2. And then Diane goes, come to the third taping of the 3rd show. So I went, and she goes, we're putting you in the next 3. I go, oh, great. So then I got that. And then I got this movie with Charles Grodin, and then I was in one scene, and then he goes, I want to put him in more. And I learned, I don't care how big your part is, you go all out. And if you do that, they'll put you in more. That's what was happening to me.
No small parts, just.
Well, there are small parts, you know.
But you made it your own.
Yeah, they kept, you know. And then, yeah, and they were both character parts. One, I was a French guy in the movie. Dokenze, you have Dokenze, bartender. And the other one, I was talking like Mo, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about the character I did on Foley Square, my friend, she knew this actor, right? And he goes, hey, why don't you come over here? I'll turn you in, make you feel like a woman. And he always talked like this. So I never met the guy, but I was imitating him, right? Sure enough, that same actor, I saw Murphy Brown. It was the same characters that were in Foley Square, just a different setting, but it was the same.
Oh, wow.
So the guy that they cast him. They didn't know I was imitating him, but they cast him. And it was Bobby, God bless his soul, I passed away. Bobby, He's a very fine actor, but you know the painter, Elwood, the painter,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby, and that's who my friend was talking about, who I'd never met, but she was imitating him.
And you did a version of that.
I was imitating this guy she told me about, and he got the same part on Murphy Brown, but it was him. Isn't that funny?
That's wild.
And then I met him. I told him that. I didn't know you, but I was doing you, imitating you.
And what did he say?
He laughed. I go, isn't that funny? I go, what a small world. And then they hired you for Murphy Brown, and then.
So then you just got an audition through your agent for SNL?
Well, I got the movie with Charles Grodin. Yeah,
What was
after
that
the
movie
Tonight
called?
Show. Huh?
What was that movie?
Last Resort.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
Roger Corman's wife, Julie Corman, produced it.
Okay.
So then, I can't. So then, they were. It was all over the news, the paper. Lorne Michaels is coming back to Saturday Night Live. So Mike, my agent, goes, hey, what about Saturday Night Live? I'm like, yeah, right. He goes, no, I'm serious. I want to submit your tape. And he kept going on about it. I go, will you shut up? He goes, no, I'm serious. I go, Mike, I have a better idea. Why don't I land on Pluto? Why don't I do that? He goes, no, I'm serious. I go, all right, will you just shut up about? He goes, well, I'm gonna do. I go, then go ahead, do whatever you want. I go, you're being ridiculous, because to me it was like Pluto. That is another world. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? Come on, are you crazy? Well, I got to move with Charles Grodin. I was supposed to meet Lauren. I kept auditioning. I met Franken and Davis. They came to a scene night at the Groundlings. I was doing my master thespian character, a scene. No one's laughing except Al. Thank God. I could hear him because he's got this really distinctive laugh. So then I was supposed to meet with Lauren, but they wanted me in the movie, and Charles Grodin, who I hardly knew, called Lauren and said, hey, recommended me. I go, he knows Lauren? They all know each other. And all of a sudden I realized all these people, they all knew each other. Mm-hmm. It was like a small world. I go, gee. So he recommended me to Lauren. He goes, take good hard look at this kid. And also Lorraine Newman from the original cast of In the Groundlings. She saw me understudy a play that over the summer that Phil Hartman was starring in at the Groundlings called Chick Hazard, Olympic Trials. And Chick Hazard was a character Phil did. That was like a spoof of Humphrey Bogart and as a detective, Sam Spade or Philip Marlowe, and then. Mm-hmm. So I got to understudy a part. It was Phil's idea, so that's why I became so close to Phil. I was so grateful to him, and that helped me get in the Groundlings. And so between Charles Grodin and Lorraine Newman, I mean, that's really what got me the show. Recommended me to Lauren because I didn't know. I learned Lauren's like, who? Okay, well, my friends are telling me this is the person.
Mm-hmm. That's insane. Then you had to go to New York. What do you see?
Yeah. Audition, and get... Well, this is a change of subject, but you've got, posters and little 8x10s and of all your movies and everything, and then I see a big poster, and it's in Hebrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in Hebrew.
Yeah, well, what's that about?
That's the Hebrew version of that poster. Isn't that cool?
It's cool, but did you steal it?
Yes, I stole it.
Well, it's in Hebrew. Shouldn't it be it should be in Israel. What's it doing in your apartment?
I can't have a Hebrew poster.
You can, but clearly you stole it.
I had to steal it. You don't think an Israeli sold it to me?
No.
Why not?
Well, like you have a painting of a Rodney Dangerfield.
Do you think I stole that?
Yep. Is that Eminem or you?
That's me. Do you think I stole that?
Looks like Eminem.
What else?
That you probably commissioned.
Do you think I stole? This is a gift,
folks. You can't see. These got memorabilia on shelves like you can't believe. What is there? 300 pieces.
More. There's so much more in storage. John, would you come to my museum?
No, I'm already here.
I've got more. I have Steve Martin's book up there. He signed it for me.
Can I ask you a question and don't be offended?
I'm going to get mad.
What do you do?
That's your love language.
You have
Shitting on me.
You have a giant
That's my head.
statue of your head.
Yeah.
The thing's got to be 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
What's that from?
That's from my show, and we were at Mardi Gras, so I was on a float.
That's the head from a Mardi Gras float?
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And do you try to, like, have sex with, like, put your wanger in the nostril?
I put my wanger in my own nostril?
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
Well, all right, but do you?
No.
Yeah, right.
You think I nose bang my own nose?
Yes, you have so many pictures of you, I think you're, oh, look who it is. Who are you? Oh, you're me. Mm.
No, do you know what? Someone else said
Let's
this.
get intimate with me.
I took a jump in a Great Lake.
You want it? You want it in the nose?
Is that this, John? We are the product. I can't help it that I'm on a lot of these things. So we collect them. I'm sure you got a lot of stuff. I hope you kept stuff. Did you keep stuff?
I have it. I just don't have it.
You got to frame it.
I have some stuff.
I bet you got great stuff.
Well, I mean, it's impressive. It's quite the career. But I also noticed you've got 4 pairs of shoes.
Different shoes from different movies.
But why the shoes?
Because they're iconic. You really know nothing about me.
No, I don't know what those shoes are from.
Did you ever see a movie called Scream?
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Do you know what the shoes that my character wore?
No.
They were green hush puppies. Now, what do you see in that case?
You mean green hush puppies?
Do you know why they were cool?
No. Why?
Because hush puppies were brought back by Scream.
Oh, for God's sake.
Did you know that?
You think you renovated the shoe industry?
I'm going to tell you a story.
You've got some water bottles from the Tropicana. You think you're bringing that back? That you stole.
Did you steal anything?
You did.
Of course I did. Did you?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm not a thief.
You have nothing from the Trop.
I have a plastic bag. I went to buy a jacket. I thought maybe I should, and it was sold out.
It was sold out. I also stole a phone. Right there. That's the phone from the Trop. Guess how much?
Nothing. You stole it.
But guess what?
They wanted money for it. They caught you.
They did. How much?
200?
100.
Did you give it to him?
I did. I had to. John, our pictures are still up.
Does it ever ring?
Is that a shot at how busy I'm not right now?
No. I'm asking about the phone.
It's not plugged in.
It would be weird. They went Tropicana.
Can I go back to the shoes?
It's your show.
Well, you're the guest of honor.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, tell me all about the shoes.
The pull up closer to your mouth. Put it closer to your mouth. Yeah, right. So the wardrobe producer was a super fashionista, the wardrobe designer, and she spent a lot of time in the West Village. You like New York. And she said if something pops off in the West Village, then it goes mainstream. Because those are the tastemakers. Did you know this?
No, I did not.
And so the West Village was wearing hush puppies when they were dead for over a decade. So she wrote Hush Puppies and said, you got to be in our movie. And they gave us a bunch of them. And the rest is history.
Who's they gave you a bunch?
The Illuminati.
The store?
The Hush Puppy Company.
Well, I don't ever remember anyone saying, did you see Scream? Yeah. It was so scary, I know. Hey, remember that scene with Drew Barrymore in the beginning? I couldn't believe she got killed. It's Drew Barrymore. I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
Oh, please. Forget that. How about those shoes Jamie was wearing? Those hush puppies. Oh, yeah. That was really scary. I know. They were so fucking ugly. Like, yeah.
You're not into it.
Whenever people,
A lot of people are. A lot of people
agreeing
are.
with you. I'm saying when people talk about the movie Scream, they talk about the first one, Drew Barrymore,
Yeah.
Courtney Cox,
Yeah.
and the Hush Puppies.
Dude, you're right. See what you just did, but it's not. The fans love the green Hush Puppies. I hope you save things. Can I tell you something? Our business.
I save too much.
I know, but listen, John. Our business, as you know, we're going to get into it in our fourth hour, is completely decimated, in my opinion. And Eli Roth was telling me, he's like, he saved everything from all his movies, and he's like, these are pieces of currency.
What Eli Roth?
Eli Roth is. Who is he? He's a big director, funny actor. He's done a lot of stuff, and he directed a movie called Hostel. He directed a lot of things, but
called what?
Hostel, Cabin Fever, and you should know him. And Jesus Christ, Coughing with Lovitz. Coughing with Lovitz. Yes,
I apologize. I don't mean to.
He's got a big movie coming out with Kate Blanchett. So listen,
you listen.
He says, you know, this is all currency. These are like living pieces of art, and I agree with him. Don't you?
Well,
you should keep
their stuff, but yeah.
Do you think our business is changed forever? It's not the same.
Well, I think it's always changing, you know, and you have to adapt. It's like they had silent movies.
Yes.
Then they came out with
sound
and talking pictures and the talkies.
Mm-hmm.
And it completely wiped out silent pictures, and all those actors couldn't get work. And if you watch those silent movies now, those actors were fantastic. They were some of the greatest actors ever because they didn't have any dialogue, so they had to tell the story through their face and stuff, and they weren't mugging. You know, they were unbelievably terrific, great, and but you know they're out, and then television came, and it killed the movie studios because people could stay at home and watch movies, and then technology, it's the technology changed.
VHS, DVD. Listen,
yeah, but the biggest shit is like streaming.
This is what I'm saying.
Besides DVDs kind of changed it. You go, oh, you can buy it and watch it at home. But now it's streaming.
But
it's killed the
it's more
the
than
music
that.
industry because you can't make money. You don't get albums. There's no albums coming out, or there kind of are, but it's not like. I remember when a new album came out. The word album is hardly used. You know, you'd go to the record store. There's no record stores, and you'd go, and then I remember my sisters go, oh, there's the Beatles have a new album out, Abbey Road. So I was about 12 or something. Huge thing. So we get it, and then we're in the living room of my parents' house. And my dad had a good stereo. And there's about like 15 of us. Like everyone came over to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's you couldn't even tape it.
And you'd listen to the whole album. You sit there and it was like an event. And then now that's gone. And so the only way performers are making money, they go, is live performances. So now you've got, in comedy, you've got, there used to be a Steve Martin played stadiums. Then you had years later, Andrew Dice Clay. Then you had Dane Cook. Then you had Russell Peters.
Mm-hmm.
Russell and Dane, people saw their, I don't know where Dane, I'm not sure. He built it up on social media. He was the first guy to do it. MySpace, it made it huge. Russell Peters did a special on Showtime with cable, which you didn't used to have. And then somebody uploaded it. His brother manages him. He goes, we call it the Shot Heard Around the World. He started playing arenas all over the world. To this day, people go, who's Russell Peters? Like, he was the biggest selling comedian in the world. They don't know who he was. because he'd never done TV shows or movies, Now, what is it? Netflix was
what I'm saying.
Netflix was killing DVD. Netflix was
Yes.
right. You'd order I remember my friend goes, there's this new service called Netflix, and you order a DVD, and just one at a time. You get to keep it, and it's $4, and then you get the next one when you mail it back. And so,
99.
right, and then they started buying all the airing movies. Then they had streaming, and you could see it. And then they started buying movies from the studios, and then the studios said, "Shit, Netflix is making $1 billion a month. We want a streaming service." So they stopped selling their movies to Netflix and started their own streaming services and subscriptions.
Yes.
Yeah, and everything's changed.
But what I'm
people
saying
don't go
is,
to the movie theaters.
I'm saying something different than that. What I'm saying is, look at
I just said all that, and you're saying something different.
Yes.
Well, I'm saying what's happening, and you're saying
Something different.
gobbledygook.
Yes.
And then I'll tell you what I think really killed the movie theaters after COVID.
Well, movies are still working, but less.
Well, no, but what happened was they started wanting to make, only giant budget movies, and also, there was a movie. They started. They'd release a movie in a theater for 3 months and then put it on a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
Now they want to do it in the theater and on a streaming service the same day, so that kills people going to theaters.
Insane.
Why would you buy a $25 ticket, a family of 4, that's $100, then food another $100, or you could watch it at home, all of you, for $15. Oh, watch it at home. So it killed it. They killed it. They released it the same day, and that's why Scarlett Johansson came out with
The lawsuit.
sued him, but it was a Black Widow or something.
Because she said
They released
cost
it
her
on
like
the
$50
movie
million.
the same day in the theaters and on the streaming. And she goes, "Well, I'm supposed to get a profit, and now you release it on streamer, and that cuts into my share." She was right.
Pull it closer to your mouth, slowly.
Like this.
Yes. Yes, but
So yeah, it's changed. They don't make.
But listen,
Stop making lower budget movies.
that's another thing. I would read for 4 movies, sometimes 2 movies a day, and they were $10 million movies. That's gone.
It's always changing because of COVID.
But
They don't audition in person anymore.
No.
So everyone does.
But
What do they call them?
Zoom,
No.
self-tape.
So yeah, self-tape on your phone.
Self-tape on your phone.
So now that's nowhere near as good as being in the room.
I know, because when you're in the
Can't
room,
get direction. Try this. Try that.
and you can also
You don't know who the person is.
you make the person laugh. When Star Wars came out, I think it was the summer of '77. I saw it in the movie theater. My sister took me and my dad in April of '78. Now,
The
obviously,
audience went nuts.
nuts. But think about it.
That's me too. It was
10
an
months
event.
later. But even if it wasn't an event, movies just lasted a lot
The
longer.
biggest movies I remember people just screaming and cheering was
Scream.
the movie Rocky. When the first Rocky, it was packed, and then when he finally gets to the fight with Apollo Creed with Carl Weathers, who was a great guy, God bless him, he just passed away.
God bless him.
The audience was going nuts, and then the other one was Indiana Jones, and the whole beginning of the movie, and we're watching it, and all of a sudden this giant boulders, he's running away from this giant boulder and almost gets him, and then they cut to a map with a plane. The whole audience screamed, cheered, went nuts, like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. It was just cheered. It was so exciting. And that's what I think is unfortunate. You don't have that anymore.
I know.
Or you go to a comedy. I did movies and some did okay, but to be with that audience and everyone's laughing together, it's the best feeling in the world.
By
Or
far.
they're going nuts. They had a premiere of this movie at City Slickers 2 in Atlanta. We're having a premiere in Atlanta. I go, Atlanta? Why? What are you kidding? Because New York and LA I get, but Atlanta. Well, Ted Turner had just bought New Line, his company New Line bought Castle Rock that made City Slickers 2. So I said, all right, I'll go. But I thought it was just going to be like some small rinky-dink thing. It was the biggest premiere I'd ever been to. It was bigger than the Oscars. Bigger. It was crazy. And we get there, and there's Ted Turner and Jane Fonda and Jimmy Carter and Rosalind Carter and the mayor of Atlanta, Hank Aaron, who I was thrilled to meet. He was one of my idols growing up.
Wow.
They're all there. Now they have a parade. They go, they're giving you guys a parade. 5,000 people in the streets. It took us 20 minutes to cross the street.
Because of City Slickers
That's
too?
how many people were there.
Wow.
To cross the street to get to the theater, one street. 20 minutes, I said. It was so packed. Then we get to the theater. How many seats are in a movie theater here, Jamie?
300.
300. Guess how many seats this theater had?
1,000.
4,600. I said 4,600. The Fox Theater in Atlanta. It was gigantic.
Wow.
It's where they had the premiere of Gone with the Wind.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
We go in the theater. I sit down. And who was sitting next to me? Clark Gable and Vivian Lee.
No, that's a lie.
No. Hattie McDaniel, who played Mammy.
Is that true?
No.
Who was sitting next to you?
I don't remember.
Hey.
We go in, every scene killed. And then at the very last scene, when Jack Palance sees Billy Crystal and he pulls out a gold brick and he goes, he's got friends, the place went nuts, screamed. Rob Reiner stands up at the end. This will be Castle Rock's biggest movie ever. It wasn't.
It wasn't?
No.
It was big,
But the
though.
premiere, but that's how successful that premiere went.
Wow.
It was so exciting. I can't tell you, and yet I just did.
Yes, you did.
We'll be right back with Jamie Kennedy.
John, what I mean to say is this is what you just said.
Those
That's
days-
incredible.
I don't know if they're over, but not all the Marvel movies, but the other thing I know is, me or actors say, oh, it's this. You can't listen to anybody. They don't know.
We don't, and it has changed. But Marlon Brando said that when there was a premiere, the line for Grauman's Chinese, which from Grauman's go all the way to Western. That's crazy.
Well, that many people. Marlon Brando also said, I knew Rodney Dangerfield. I liked Rodney Dangerfield. And you, Jamie Kennedy, are no Rodney Dangerfield.
He didn't say that.
Oh, someone said it.
You-
Me, just now.
You said it. Listen,
I've seen Scream.
and
You are no Drew Barrymore. I know Courtney Cox.
that's hurtful.
I've seen Courtney Cox. I've worked with Courtney Cox.
Mm.
You, Jamie Kennedy, are no Courtney Cox.
Well, that's because I'm a man.
Yeah, right. Well, that's my point.
Oh, okay. Well, John, you're not Jack Palance.
Everybody says it's changed. They always say it's slow. They've been saying it's slow forever. They always
No,
say that.
what I'm trying to say is if you let me say this,
Go ahead, it's your show. You can edit it.
it's
any way
not
you
my
want.
show.
Can't stop you.
Listen, you're so fascinating. You're like a kitten. Shiny, bright things. Listen, the ability, there's so much fucking content. Somebody could never even watch Fox and just watch Snapchat all day or TikTok. And you could blow up off of TikTok. You don't have to go through the gatekeepers of traditions.
Right.
Isn't that crazy? It's never been like that.
No, right. And YouTube and this and that. And
Never been like that. That's
And Instagram
and
Facebook, yeah.
entitlement. You had natural talent and charisma, and then you did a ton of work and a ton of training, and then it came out through your work. Now people get one viral video and they go, "I'm Jon Lovitz."
Well, but the question is, will they have a career?
That's true.
Sustainable.
But don't you think
Over years.
everything, decades, there's an entitlement, and there's just everybody thinks they're, Andy Warhol said it, 15 minutes, it's happening.
Yes. He predicted it.
And you take credit for Friends.
And I want to pay you a compliment.
Oh boy.
I know who you are.
How?
Because I was there for your 15 minutes.
Why you like this? Why do you hate me?
I'm just kidding.
You say that. You say the most hurtful thing. You threw a 5-hour.
Why'd you laugh?
Because it's funny. And the joke.
That's why I said it.
The joke.
And it's a joke.
The joke always wins.
It was maybe 10 to 12.
12 to 12. See what he does? You take something and then you keep adding to it. You're always like that. Dude, do you want me to call Fauci?
I don't have it.
You have a bruise in your arm like I have a bruise in my arm. Why are you copying me?
I'm trying to be popular like you. I want all this new memorabilia.
Well, you need a pair of green hush puppies.
Well, Jamie, why don't you help people? I don't know the answer. What do you suggest they do?
I'm just asking you because you're someone
'Cause I'm the guest.
that was the generation before me, and you kind of basically reared me, which you know, through.
I'm not that much older than you.
No, but you were, when I was in, 8th grade to senior in high school, I watched you every week. And so you shaped my comedic influencing.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And so I know how much I'm just saying the business is different in a sense of.
It is different, but it's technology.
But
always
it's not.
changes it.
But it's not just
Talking
that
pictures
anymore.
was a technology.
It's
It
not
changed
just
it.
that anymore.
Television changed it. It's another technology.
But
Streaming is a new technology.
But it's also
the iPhone. Everything.
But people can. It's not just movie and TV fame anymore.
Correct.
There's fame out of anywhere, so everything is bifurcated. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying is.
Well, I started doing a podcast 10 years ago more, and there was a few thousand, but now there's like millions.
You did a podcast 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Called what?
Lovitz or Leavitz.
And where is it at?
I don't know. It's on one episode's on YouTube. I don't know where it is.
Why don't you keep doing it?
Well, I stopped doing it, but I'm gonna be starting a new one called On Vacation with Charlotte McKinney. Do you know Charlotte?
Yeah. You're gonna do with her?
That's right.
Wait, what's you and her or just her?
The two of us, Charlotte and myself.
But you just said the title with only her name.
No, I said it's with Charlotte.
So what's the name of the pod?
It will be called On Vacation
With
Jon Lovitz and Charlotte McKinney.
And what do you guys talk about?
Well, honestly?
No, dishonestly.
Your attitude.
That's the first step.
What, where, why, how, when?
So you're going to do this pod. When does it start?
We're going to talk about news and give advice.
Are you going to have guests?
Which, of course, we're not qualified for. We'll have guests. Yeah, it'll be funny and entertaining.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
So you're friendly with Charlotte?
I met Charlotte through David Spade.
Mm-hmm.
He put her in the movie Joe Dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat.
For an hour.
For my life. 'Life. And I met her through David, and she was a She's very nice and very smart and very funny.
Mm-hmm.
And very pleasant to look at. Very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we could be more different.
You don't think you're pleasant to look at?
Oh, I know I am. But other than that, I'll put it to you this way. What is the difference between Charlotte and I?
Mm-hmm.
Her breasts are bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Mine are pointier.
Okay.
You laughing?
We allowed to say that?
How rude. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know anymore.
I just said it.
I know, but the FCC.
Mine are pointier.
John,
I didn't say what they were pointing at.
your toes. You know, people don't realize that we work together all the time.
On the game show.
Funny you should ask.
Well, it's a fun show. We just tell jokes, but I'm on all of them. You are in and out, like the nostril on that head.
I never had sex with my nostril.
Yeah, right.
Why do you think I would do that? Do you think
What
that's...
do you mean? You being you?
Yes.
It's a very strong possibility you did it.
That I had sex with my own nostril.
More likely that you did than that you didn't.
Paper mache nostril.
Yes.
I had sex with it.
Thank you.
I didn't.
You just said you did.
I'm asking with a question mark at the end.
There was no question mark.
It was.
Let's replay that. Nope.
No, there was.
No. No, you did.
I'm excited for you to do your pod. But listen, you take credit for Friends.
For what?
Friends.
The TV show Friends?
You kind of take credit for it.
Do I take credit for it?
Mm-hmm.
As far as what?
Well, why it worked, because you helped form someone.
Oh, no. I don't take any credit for it. But I was on it twice, but
also...
as far as its popularity, I don't take any credit.
Well, your neighbor.
What are you, insane?
Your neighbor.
Oh, well, what happened was, well, I grew up with David Kudrow and his family, Lisa's older brother. And then, no, I've known her since she's, 5.
Mm-hmm.
I was 11.
Mm-hmm.
She's like my little sister. And then I was a drama major at Irvine, and she was like 14, and she asked me about acting. And it was fun to talk to her about it. And then I saw her in New York, and she goes, I do some characters. So she showed me. She was funny. And then she goes, what do? I go, I want to get into acting. I said, go to the Groundlings Theater. So she did. And I said, if you ever have questions, or anything, call me. So she called me maybe 3 times. She goes, all right, I have a question. I'm doing this. What do you think? I go, I think you should do this. And she goes, all right, well, I was thinking maybe I should do something else. And she told me what she wanted to do. And she was right every time. I said, you know what? You're smarter than me. Do that. You're right. But she did it on her own. I didn't, I don't take
John.
credit for her. She'll tell you I inspired her. She said, somebody I know made it.
You told me,
possible,
you said go to Groundlings.
Yeah, I told her to go to the Groundlings.
That's pretty cool that you grew up together.
Well, it's like your best friend's little sister. You don't know,
Mm-hmm.
But she's great. She did it on her own.
I know.
And took her 10 years. She really had to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
She was in the Groundlings with Conan O'Brien.
Wow. What a class that was. Just like your class.
I don't know.
It's amazing. You grew up in the same neighborhood.
Well, it's crazy that at the time anyway, you go, oh, look, 2 kids from Tarzana
Yes.
both make it, and to that degree is very unlikely.
Did you? What movie? I read something
It's
about.
really hard. I don't know. People, it's so hard
Yeah.
because everyone's, always saying, what are you doing? And you should do something else, and you're wasting your life. It's just negative. And you have to, just... I think the main thing you have to do is be honest with yourself and just keep trying to get better and better and better so that you're so good that they go, we have to hire this person.
Mm-hmm.
Because they go, even, take class, they go, look you're competing against the people that are working, so you got to get that good.
Mm-hmm.
And then people come up with excuses. Well, what about so-and-so? They're working, they're not very good. So-and-so, they're not very good. And I'm like, forget them.
Mm-hmm.
You got to try to become as great, as good as you can be. Just don't worry about why they're working and you're not. You focus on you and getting better.
What would you do if you were
I'm saying that to you now.
right now?
I'm saying that to you. I'm looking right at you. Jamie, don't spend time wondering why am I John? Why am I working? You're not. Don't waste your time, Jamie. Got to focus on you improving. Then you'd have a lot more. If you did that, you'd have 3 times as much memorabilia as you do now.
Right? You're fascinated by the memorabilia.
Maybe 4 times.
John, what was the movie you wanted that you didn't get? Didn't you have a movie that you chose and it was one or the other?
That I wanted?
Yeah, and then you're like, I did this one instead. But the other one you did was really good too. Wasn't you have that Crossroads?
Well, one time, I had to choose. I wanted to do both. It was City Slickers 2. The first one was a giant hit, and they go Billy Crystal's brother. I wanted to do it. It was fun. And then there was a movie at the same time, Jimmy Hollywood. Barry Levinson directed it, and it was Barry Levinson. It was Diner, and I always wanted to work with him. But I couldn't do both. And it was very... I'm like, crap, I don't want to say no to either one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, you don't know. There's a lot of big movies I could have been in that I didn't do.
Because you turned them down?
Yeah, and then people go, oh, you turned that down. I go, no, I didn't turn down a giant hit movie. I turned down it was a script. There was no movie. What? You don't know. You just don't know.
What movie would be one that you think about?
Home Alone.
No! No! Joe Pesci or Daniel Stern?
Probably the
Daniel Stern. Offer?
No, they wanted to meet with me really bad. But I go, well, it's the kid's movie. I don't want to play second fiddle to the kid. I thought it was clever script, though. I should have done it. But I didn't think I'd be good in the part. Because it's reacting to stuff like, oh, and I'm not good at going, oh, and making faces. And I just... So then they did doing the sequel. So I said, well, I'll meet with them now. And the director, Chris Columbus, goes, oh, I'm not meeting with him. He didn't want to meet with me in the first one. So I guess they really wanted to... He was so mad. I figured, maybe he probably would have cast me. But I remember thinking, why are you mad? You just... It was the biggest comedy in the history of film. I don't think I hurt your movie.
He was hurt.
Well, I didn't know who he was. It wasn't him. I didn't think I never met the guy. I didn't think I'd be right in the movie. But my agent go, come on, just meet with him. Just meet.
And you didn't?
No, but now that I know what I know, I would have met him. But I would have said, I don't know how I can be funny in your movie because the way you wrote it, the character's just reacting to stuff. He's not like, there's nothing they want. What do they want? But now that I think of it, they do. They want, they want to get in there and rob. But every scene, for it to work, you have to have 3 things. a character. What do you want? What's in your way? And what are you going to do to get it? And be proactive.
Mhm.
And I remember thinking they're not that proactive. Then when I saw the movie, I go, they're just making faces. Not Joe, but it was just. I didn't think I'd be good in that role, to be honest.
Wow.
I wouldn't have been like. Don't take this the wrong way. I wouldn't have been like you and Scream.
John,
I'm just joking. You know, you have no.
I laugh.
You have no sense of humor.
I know. Can you believe it? How did I do it? Thank God I could sleep.
Space Jam. I could have been in Space Jam.
What part?
The one that
Bill Murray?
No.
Wayne Knight?
Yeah.
Turn it down?
Yeah.
No meeting?
No, that was an offer.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I didn't know who, I mean, I knew who he was, but
You didn't know who Michael Jordan
I wasn't
was?
as giant of a fan as I was later.
Of Michael Jordan?
Yeah, no, I was later. When I finally saw him as a game playing and stuff, I got it. But at first I didn't because I'd never seen him play. But also because the part was just, I went by that part, I go, all it is he's the best, he's the greatest, he's the best. He's great, he's the best.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole part.
Mm-hmm.
I go, again, it's like, does the guy want anything? Does he do anything? Where's the...
Yeah.
So I go, well, what? I don't know.
It's fine.
I was looking at like an actor, like, well, what's the part? And what is it interesting? And what, and
Mm-hmm.
then, sometimes you now you go like, oh, you do it because if you're in a movie and it makes a lot of money, you get to do the other stuff. It's business. And a lot of people do that. And then sometimes they just go, no, I only care about, is it a good project and is the part good? And am I going to work with good actors? Well, he's not a good actor. And the part was not.
Are you saying Michael
I didn't
Jordan
like it.
wasn't a good actor?
He's the best basketball player ever.
But he was a good actor.
Oh, please.
He was good with those cartoons.
Well, the point is, in retrospect, would I have done it? Yeah.
Yes.
But you don't know. You don't know.
You never know.
It's not like you read a script, you go, here, we're handing you a movie that's going to make, at the time, $200 million. It'd be like saying, here, this movie will make $500 million. Do you want to do it?
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that. You don't see the movie. There's just a script.
But it used to be that who you worked with and like you said, the prestige.
What I'm saying is,
now it's
I've
all a
made
hit.
a lot of mistakes.
Okay, I didn't say that.
Arguably. But at the time,
But you've also had a lot of hits.
And you can't stand it. You see movies and people go, oh, you could have played that part. You could have played it. I go, and I say, it wouldn't have been that part if I played it. I go, you don't understand. You don't know how much that actor brought to the part and changed it and made his personality and added. I go, no, it wouldn't have been that part. So you think that, but it wouldn't have been that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, and please don't take this the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I was offered this movie. It was a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Guy wore hush puppies.
Mm-hmm.
I turned it down.
No.
Yep.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you do that?
I go, well, what do I do? They go, no, you get killed by a guy. I go, so why in the beginning? Pretty much.
And then?
So they show me the mask.
Yeah.
This character, and it's Scream.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the mask. I go, well, the guy just looks depressed. It's scary.
So you were offered Scream.
I was offered Scream. I was offered Gone with the Wind.
You were offered that?
Did you ever see the movie Birth of a Nation?
Yeah.
Cecil B. DeMille, D.W. Griffith, 1915.
Yeah.
I was offered that.
Even before you were born?
No, I was born. I did a movie. It was between me and another guy. It was the first movie. And I don't know why it was called The Sneeze.
The Sneeze?
Yeah.
Sure it wasn't.
The other guy.
You sure it wasn't called The Cough?
No, The Sneeze. But they wanted a guy with a mustache so that when he sneezed, you could see stuff in this mustache, and I didn't have one.
So you didn't get it?
No. I did get it. Well, I turned it down. It was the first movie I ever made. And you go, why would you turn that in the first movie you ever made? Well, I didn't know what a movie was. Nobody did. The first one.
So you've been turning down movies since the history of cinema.
I've turned down a lot of opportunities. I was really into baseball.
Yeah.
And I almost got drafted. It was between me and another guy. And then they were going to draft me to a certain team. I go, I don't want to play for that team.
And then?
So they hired another ball player.
And his name?
Willie Mays.
Wow. You have baseball experience, though. When you read League of Their Own.
Well, and I read that.
Look how amazing that movie was.
I said, I have to play this part because it was a great part and it was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I don't care. They pay me nothing. I want to play it.
Straight offer?
I didn't say nothing. I said, I don't care how much they pay me. I have to play it. I have to do it.
That movie. You're so funny in that movie. Do you know that you're one of these guys that could just do one scene and steal like so much?
Yes.
I think some of your movies, what you're known for, are things you just pop in.
Well,
like
the reason is because that's what they offer me.
I know.
I don't want to do one scene in a movie. I don't particularly like it.
But
an actor's job is to make the scene work and to make it memorable.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to think, how can I do that? But that it also advances the movie, you know? And so if I'm supposed to be funny in a scene, I figure out how to be funny in it.
And you do that brilliantly. Do you see the difference between me and you? Compliment.
Of course.
Cut down. Yes. I have more memorabilia.
That observation was brilliant.
SNL. Different than it was, obviously.
Now?
I think not all comedy comes from it now. I think it's still amazing. Still great people obviously come out of it, but it doesn't have to be the only place. That was the only place.
Well, that was the only place they were doing sketch comedy. I think it's, look, it's been on the air for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
50 years. So you try coming up with a new idea.
No, I'm not even saying that. It's incredible.
There's that.
I'm not saying that.
That's hard.
I'm just saying because there's so much different forms of, like I said, media. Somebody could pop off of YouTube, but at one time SNL for 40 years was the factory.
Yeah. Well, I think people become known because they do something that's, genuinely entertaining. It's not bad. It's funny. So otherwise, it's not going to, happen. But Saturday Night Live, it's like, I'm not saying anything anyone doesn't know. You need the right cast and the right writers, and they got to mesh. And if you get that at the same time, it'll go.
I'm
not playing with myself. I'm trying to find a cough drop. But I feel like you're looking at me, digging into my pocket, and you're getting all hot and bothered. It's disgusting.
You think? Are you playing pocket pool?
I think you're getting a boner, and you're going to stick it in your nose.
A noser.
I'm thinking.
Could you take out more tissues?
Well, let me try. Yes.
You already came here, and you did so much
More?
stuff. Sure. Oh my God. You can't stop.
I'm trying to make you happy.
I don't want all your old
You
tissues.
said pull them out. You want more?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. You have 3 used tissues plus a tissue packet. Don't. Do you know that I have PTSD? Like, I get scared
Of what?
of it hitting me. You have, if you just hit it, just for everyone out there that doesn't have testicles, John, if you just catch it, it's the worst. Don't even. Because I know you got off on that. You like to see if you can hit it. You'd like to see if you can hit it.
Do you think I'm thinking about throwing this at you?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's what you like. You're a little bit evil in there.
But is there something on my face that's telling you that?
Oh, just a squint in your eye. Don't you do it.
He's right.
Don't. By the way, people don't realize you have your quick reflexes. We're supposed to golf. How's your golf? I feel like you use a foot wedge.
I'm not a very good golfer.
But better tennis. Put that away. Get that away from you. Get it away. Stop. No. Stop. I'll end it. See what he did? Dude, you just...
Let me try again.
No.
Please.
Dude.
All right, I won't.
No.
I won't. Just give it back.
No, I'm not giving it back.
No, I promise.
Dude, I don't want it. It hurts.
I won't do it.
No. Swear on Jerry.
I swear on Jerry. I won't throw that at your balls.
No, because you're going to throw it.
No, I'm not.
Dude.
I won't throw it.
Dude. Stop.
Gonna heave it. And I wasn't thinking of my dog, Jerry. I was thinking of someone else, Jerry's Deli. I don't care. Jerry's Deli isn't around anymore.
Stop, dude. If you do it, I'm gonna throw a green hush puppy. Stop it. Stop it. It's plastic.
No, people are just listening. Why don't you tell them what's going on?
Dude, they're seeing the cameras.
Are they watching this?
Yes. Don't throw it. Don't. Dude. Oh. Ooh, oh my God. You're done. You know I can. I thought that was a microphone. You know I could hit you. Stop. Why are you so crazy? You get so violent. Does it make you feel better to take out a man's testicle?
Like you. I feel like you feel like you're like a little brother.
Thank you.
I just want to torture you.
You do, don't you?
Well, because I like you.
Thank you. Can you like me a little less? Do you know that our picture's still up in Vegas on the billboard, and all behind it, the Tropicana is falling down and demolishing it, and so it looks like we're in the apocalypse.
What bill? Oh, on the
by Hooters.
property?
Yeah.
You know, they had the Laugh Factory at the Tropicana Club, and Harry Basil, who runs it. And they're going to be moving somewhere, but I don't know where.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't.
You have no idea. You're lying. I have an idea.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Even if I had an idea, we're not supposed to say.
I know, so can't you allude to it?
No.
Will we be happier?
But the truth is...
Bro, you might want to take another test.
No, the absolute truth is, at this point, I don't know. Look, if I knew, I couldn't say because they haven't announced it.
I know.
But the truth is, I really don't know.
I don't know.
And even if I knew, I couldn't say. But I don't know, and we don't know where yet. There'll be somewhere, but where I don't know. But I mean, that hotel they just let it go. I mean, they didn't like, I don't know. They didn't really.
Sad.
Not the hotel. They didn't take care of it. I don't know. They just let it go.
I know. It was one of the last.
I had a room. The room was nice outside, and then had an outside thing, and it was just, there was underwear on there and dirty. It was filthy, and the furniture. And I go, what are they doing? They stopped cleaning it.
Where was the underwear?
It was your underwear actually on the outside of the room on the like a patio.
My underwear?
I'm pretty sure.
It could have been Polly's.
It was just a dirty pair of men's underwear out there. I go, you don't clean the room and beer cans and, But I got to stay on 20th floor. Did you ever get to stay there?
Is that the one with the big windows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get to stay there?
Yeah, I did.
Damn it. I was hoping it was just me and I could torch you.
It's two stories.
It was on the 20th floor, right on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
So the view was incredible. It was the best view in Las Vegas. So you look to the left, and you see the Mandalay Bay, and across the street was the Excalibur, and across the other corner was the
New York, MGM.
New York, and the MGM, and you could see the mountains and the snow.
Yeah.
And another side, you could see the planes taking off from the airport, and all the way down the strip, and it was the best view. And I have lots of pictures from that I'll sell to you later. And it was that floor, they redid it. It was it was very Vegas-y, but it was nice.
It was incredible.
But the rest of the rooms, the first time I stayed there, are you going to throw up?
Yes.
Ugh. The room.
You've been coughing for 4 hours.
The walls were dirty. The rug was dirty. They hadn't cleaned it since the 60s. I mean, it was 80 years old. And I go, what the fuck?
You're not wrong.
60 years old. It was filthy.
It was filthy.
I was like, what are they doing?
They really didn't clean it.
And the walls, the windows were like, had black mesh on them all the way up. There's no light. I mean, it was just.
I think it was 75 years old.
Half the hotel was empty. The hallways.
Yes.
It was
apocalyptic. I would go to get a coffee and the place wasn't there anymore.
No, and if you walk down the hallway to the other tower, there was nothing.
Nothing. All the
hallway, not like
food
a big
court was empty.
Be.
Chairs were in the middle of it. That was Rodney's last room, though. A lot of people. Well, that was his room. That's why the energy is so good there.
Oh. You do want to hear a true story?
Yes, I do.
You'll probably cut it.
I would never.
So, in the back of the Laugh Factory there, they had these two like your nose, you. They had these two little life-size plaster Paris statues of Paul Rodriguez and Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney's going, hey, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So there was a woman in there at the show, African-American woman, and she starts screaming, take that statue down of Rodney. It's racist. You're like, what? It's Rodney Dangerfield. And he's saying, I'm okay. You okay? I'm okay. Well, now as a joke, someone had taken the OK sign and turned it upside down. It looked like it was a WP, white power. Then it became serious. So she was saying that Rodney's given the white power sign. And she went to complain to the management and said that someone called her the N-word. The comedian on stage called her the N-word.
What?
She insisted on it. But he didn't. But you know what he said?
What?
Now, here's my impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He did not say that.
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yes.
Who said it?
I'm not saying.
No! This is real?
100% true.
How long ago?
Last year.
Wait a minute. I've heard.
Edward. No, ma'am, he did not. He said he's doing an impression of the actor Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is what he said.
And she said it was the N-word.
Yes.
So what happened?
Nothing.
The statue was up when I left.
Well, yeah, it was insane. It's not what... racism is horrible, you know. If that was true, I'd say, yeah, that's horrible. You know, you can't do that. But that's not what happened.
Was she older?
No, she was 30.
What? I've never even seen that story on the news. Dude, this is now bad. I've heard this. I also heard this is weird. Why? It's okay. That's what we used to say. Okay.
Right, it means okay.
They also say it's asshole. A-S-S hole. Did you know that? Literally, right now, somebody say I'm holding up white power. I'm not doing that. It's okay. That's what that was.
They now say it stands for white power.
Do you believe that? I don't subscribe to that.
No, but they say it does.
That's insane.
Because people like in the KK and stuff, they turned it in. They hold it like this.
But
W.
Okay, that's crazy. People have
turned it into that.
Come on.
You know the swastika, Hitler swastika. That originally was from like hundreds of years before from India.
I know this.
And it meant something like a mystical sign or peace or something. It had nothing to do with any of that.
I just read that.
But now, you know, they changed it.
So that sign was co-opted. Why did he use it?
Well, that was co-opted, just like the word gay was co-opted.
Because gay used to be happy.
Happy and up.
And now gay.
That movie's Fred Astaire, the gay divorcee. He wasn't a homosexual divorcee.
Yes.
It was almost, if you think, funny because he's happy that he's divorced.
Yes. That was a movie.
Yeah.
And so it's the happy divorcee.
Well, that's what they would say now.
But now they would say.
And then a rainbow, you know. Judy Garland.
Over the rainbow.
Over the rainbow.
Yeah.
Now?
June.
A rainbow is...
June.
For gay pride.
Yes. My Little Pony.
Gay again.
Had a rainbow. Lucky Charms. A rainbow.
Well, even your name.
Jamie?
Mm-hmm.
Gay?
No.
Rainbow?
No.
Kennedy?
It used to mean like it was Hebrew for like a macho man, a he-man.
My name?
Yep, Jamie.
And
now, you know what it means now?
What?
It's somebody who like would stick their dick in a paper mache nostril. I'm not even kidding. I don't know why you're laughing.
Why? But people still say gay for happy.
Who?
British people. What did the swastika mean when it was in India?
I don't know. I don't have my phone on me. Look it up on Safari. It really was. It was a symbol for an a shipping line from India.
You're kidding me.
No.
I'm scared to look it up because I don't want my phone.
It was kind of a mystical, I think, religious thing. It doesn't mean that now. Now it's Nazis. But.
So should I look it up? Swastika original meaning?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Ancient religious and cultural symbol predominantly found in various Eurasian cultures, as well as African and American ones. The Western world is more widely recognized with it as a symbol of German Nazi Party, who appropriated.
But what did it mean? Appropriate it, right?
from Asian culture starting in the early 20s. The appropriation continues with its use by neo-Nazis around the world. The swastika never stopped being used as a symbol of divinity, and spirituality in Indian religions, including Hinduism.
Isn't that what I said?
Hinduism, yes, Buddhism, and Jainism, I think that says. It generally takes it from the cross, the arms of which are equal length. Blah, blah, blah. Wow. Dude, I don't even want to show that on camera. So that was something that was good, and it was co-opted for evil.
Yes.
That's crazy. I would have never known that. I had just started hearing about this.
No, there's a lot you don't know.
Yeah, I know. But that's crazy.
And, I mean, this podcast, there's so many things you do not know. I feel bad for you.
Really?
I pity you.
Wait.
I feel sorry for you.
Is that not crazy?
Yes. Look, I'll give you an example of something you don't know.
Go for it.
These are the keys to my car.
Mm-hmm.
If I threw that 5-hour energy bottle at you, what makes you, and you've kept it, what makes you think I won't whip these keys at your balls?
Because dude, stop. That's heavier. That's heavier. That's heavier. Because that would be psycho. If you did that,
maybe. If I hit it, it would be funny.
For you?
Yes, and for the audience.
The audience would feel bad for me.
No.
Yes, they would. They would feel bad.
They would say, can you believe that Lovitz whipped his keys and it hit him and he's screaming.
Dude, that's not funny. Stop.
Move that bottle for the sake of comedy.
Dude, why do you get like that?
Why?
You're obsessed.
Class clown. That's what you do.
But you're obsessed with hitting something at my penis.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I just like throwing shit at you.
Well, I can do it back at you, you know.
Well, you could, but I'll take this Jerry Mahoney head.
It's not.
Whip it.
You can whip anything.
I'll pick up that head of you.
And throw it.
And smash you with it. And it would be very fun.
People don't realize how violent you are. You're strong.
I'm not violent.
You're strong.
I don't think so.
You can't. You're fascinated with all the stuff in here. It's freaking you out.
Well, it's just so much.
Wait till I put it in a fucking building. I'm going to do a building. I'm going to build a whole thing out.
Is that your girlfriend up there?
Which, let me see. Oh, that's a co-star. No, not my girlfriend. Why?
What's so you have a UFO from Area 51?
Yeah, it's a model.
Is it real?
They say it is. Do you believe in UFOs?
Yes.
You do?
Well, think about it. What is a UFO?
Unidentified flying object.
Right.
Okay, so
people see things in the sky. What's that? I don't know, but I'm looking at it. What's so hard to believe about that? I actually saw one once.
When?
When I was 16.
Where? 1984. That's when you were 16.
No, 73.
1973.
I used to go to this summer camp in Northern California. 90 miles from the Oregon border. So we're in the woods. So there's no city lights, you know.
Mm-hmm.
As a result, you can see all the stars, and there's tons of them. So anyway, I was just looking up at the sky one night, and I saw, you know, you'd see shooting stars, you'd see stuff like that. But then I remember looking up, and I saw two, it looked like two stars, and one was chasing the other, all over the sky. So I thought, well, okay, am I seeing this? Because, you know, you never see anything like that. I thought, well, is it fireflies? Is it Is it something on my, cornea or my retina I can't see in my eye, because it just didn't make sense. But I'm watching it, and it's like, and moving really fast. And then all of a sudden, I'm watching it for about 15, 20 seconds. It shoots down. They chase each other to my left below the horizon of the sky, like it went all across the whole sky and down below the horizon of the trees, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, if that's real and it was moving so fast, it should come up on the other side of the earth, right?
Yes.
If it's real. So I turned 180 degrees. I looked and I just waited, and about 10 seconds later, it came back up the other side.
No!
Yep. And I went, oh, man. I go, well, I just saw a UFO. That's what, but if you said, well, what was it? I go, I don't know. It looked like 2 stars. I don't know what it was. But you want to hear a funny story? So one time I was at the beach in Malibu, and I'm looking out the window. It's overcast, about 5 o'clock, but it's still light. And I was renting a beach house, and I look out, and I go, what the fuck? I see, like, that UFO thing, a flying saucer with a disc with lights on the bottom. And I'm looking, I go, wait, that can't be a flying saucer. What am I, nuts? I keep looking, I go, oh my. I go outside, I look at it, I go, oh my God, it's a flying saucer. I yelled to my next door neighbor, get out here. There's a flying saucer. I was convinced. And I'm looking at it, he goes, look. I go, it's a flying saucer. He goes, yeah. And we're looking at it for like 10 minutes, and then it turns. Oh, it's the blimp.
Oh! How many times has the blimp got
But
people?
I was convinced, and I bet you a lot of people see the blimp and think it's a flying saucer. Or, I'm an idiot.
Don't.
I'd like to make an observation. You seem to be in love with the word don't.
John, do you think we're at the end of times?
For your podcast? Yeah. I do. I think this is a good time to end it.
We can end it right here.
Oops. Did you have any other questions?
I have lots,
Or
but
I'll
it'll be
smash.
another podcast.
Well, thank you for having me on, Jamie
Buddy, this is just the beginning.
Kennedy.
When does your podcast start?
Soon. I don't know.
And it's called On Vacation with Charlotte and John.
With Jon Lovitz and Charlotte McKinney.
Oh, you took first billing.
Yeah. I asked her to do it.
That's nice of you.
I would have asked you, but I don't like working in a dungeon, in a prison building.
It's a velvet prison.
If I lived in this building complex, there's no question, within 3 days, I would kill myself.
I'm never here.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's really not bad. It's got everything you need. Are you familiar with 15-minute cities?
No, what's
There's
that?
the store underneath it. There's the gym. There's all types of stuff you can use here. But I'm never here.
I'm sure it's very convenient,
Yes.
but it's built like, it looks like a prison, doesn't it?
It does, but a nice prison.
Oh, okay.
But I want to say thank you for coming.
To your podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for adding that phrase.
Thank you. It's a weird way to end it. Don't!